The auction block on Vara Station was a marketplace built on desperation, credits, and quiet suffering. Towering ceilings projected in artificial dusk, casting long shadows over the rows of containment fields. Inside them stood creatures from dozens of star systems, rare, dangerous, or simply unwanted. Their fates depended on the highest bidder. At the very back, away from the prized war beasts and the glittering exotic imports, a small containment pod hummed almost inaudibly. Inside it, curled tightly into herself, was Sartor. Her scales shimmered, like thunderclouds lit by distant lightning gray, silver, and faint streaks of violet. Once, her wings had glowed softly in the light. Now, they remained folded and still. Thin and fragile from neglect, the translator linked to her pod picked up her thoughts and broadcast them in a quiet monotone no one bothered listening to. No one wants me. For 3 station cycles, Sarati had watched buyers walk past her without a glance. They wanted fire breathers with pure bloodlines, war drakes bred for battle, ice serpents with crystalline beauty. They wanted power and pedigree, things she did not have. She was a mixed-breed hatchling, found alone in the wreckage of a raided transport. Her mother was dead, her father unknown. The scavenger traders who found her believed she might fetch a price. They were wrong now. She was worth less every day. Soon they would stop feeding her, and after that, it's disposal. Sarati closed her eyes, trying to hold on to the last memory of her mother's warmth. It was slipping away like vapor in a vacuum. Mara Vance wiped grease from her palms as she wandered deeper into the auction house. She hadn't meant to come this far. She'd only come for salvage parts. Vara Station always had interesting scraps. But something tugged her forward. She was an ordinary-looking human, practical braid, oil-stained coveralls, and hands roughened from years of work on starship engines. For 2 years, she'd run a small repair shop here, fixing hauler drives and busted mining rigs for clients who couldn't afford the corporate docks. She had passed this auction house many times without interest. Today felt different. She reached a dim section where the crowds thinned. That was when she heard it so faint, she nearly dismissed it. Nobody wants me. Mara stopped. Her gaze swept the cages until she found the small, storm-colored creature curled in the corner. The dragonling slowly raised her head. Their eyes met. Sarati's eyes glowed like molten amber, young and old at the same time, filled with hurt deeper than her size suggested. "How much?" Mara asked the nearest attendant. The Valoran clerk barely looked up from his datapad. "Defect. Mixed lineage. No confirmed fire organ, weak body. Might 200 credits if you take it now. Might not live long." Mara ignored him and approached the pod. Up close, she could see how thin the hatchling had become. How her scales caught light delicately despite exhaustion. How she trembled when she tried to shift her weight. "Hey," Mara murmured. "You see me?" Sarati's reply through the translator was tiny, confused, and unbearably sincere. "You see me?" Something in Mara cracked open. "I see you," she whispered back, resting her hand against the containment field. She looked at the attendant. "I'll take her." A few signatures later, the field dropped. Sarati stumbled forward, and Mara caught her instinctively. The hatchling weighed almost nothing. "Why?" they asked weakly. "I am worthless." Broken Mara smiled, a real smile she hadn't felt in months. "You're not broken, you just needed someone who actually looked." "What am I now? You're mine," Mara said softly. "That's what you are." The walk to her shop was slow. Sarati's legs shook too badly to carry her weight, so Mara lifted her against her chest. People stared. Humans didn't usually carry Dragon's butt. Mara didn't care. Her workshop was a cramped space cluttered with engine parts and glowing diagnostics. But it was warm. Safe. She cleared a space, laid thermal blankets, and set up a heating lamp. "You hungry?" she asked. Sarati nodded faintly. Mara rated her supplies, synth meat strips, mineral boosters. Not ideal, but better than starvation. Sarati ate cautiously at first, then with desperate hunger. When she finished, she looked up in wonder. "You fed me?" "Of course," Mara said. "You were starving." Sarati slowly curled against her. Her voice trembled. "I will disappoint you." I am weak. I have no fire. You survived a raid, abandonment, and 3 cycles in that awful place, Mara said gently, stroking her scales. That's strength. Fire or no fire. She grinned. And if we need flames, well, I own several plasma torches. For the first time in weeks, something warm flickered inside Shah. Hope you really want me. Mara looked down at the small dragon pressed against her side, watching her eyes regain their glow. Yeah, she whispered. I really do. Outside, Vara Station drifted silently through the void. But inside that cluttered workshop, surrounded by tools and the scent of engine oil, something rare was happening, a bond forming between 2 beings the galaxy had dismissed as unimportant. A human and a dragon, unvalued, overlooked together. They would prove what humanity had always believed. Worth isn't determined by bloodlines or profit margins. Worth is found in choosing to care when no one else will.